Hello there. This is the Diamonds Forever call. It is today, January 18th, 2016. Our blog spot, be sure to look up the blog spot. That is diamondsforever31.blogspot.com. Now, we've got several articles on there that does, whether it's daily or weekly. Keep up with that. We've got all the phone numbers listed there. The current phone number here is 641-715-3836. The PIN code is 883267#. Again, that's 641-715-3836. Don't put your pencils down. Here's the replay line, 641-715-3831. Again, the PIN number is 883267#. And Candy, are you there for your candy shop info and your news to bring in?
I certainly am. Glad to be part of the Diamond Network. This week, as we're moving into 2016. So, yes, we had a wonderful candy shop show last week with Julian Wales as the guest speaker, and Christopher got it up on YouTube a few hours ago, and I would encourage everyone to listen to it, and I think you'll find that a blessing as he channeled the Pleiadians for us. Let's see, candy jar treats. What else have we got today? Well, there was a lot of concern about the stock market dropping. It's been dropping steadily for the last 3 months, and it took a big plunge the last 2 weeks, and on Friday, 500 points it dropped. Not sure about all the different scares. I think there was a little confusion when Walmart announced that they were closing 280 stores, but apparently this is, they're opening and closing stores all the time. I know that the conspirators think that they're closing stores in certain areas to help Homeland Security and FEMA to set up some extra emergency centers if there's earthquakes or something that would be of an emergency nature, that Walmart might be cooperating with them. Don't know what to think about that rumor. I was reading a Forbes article today about all the many rumors about the Chinese situation. Of course, it was their stock market closing that aggravated our fall on our stock market. But as it turned out, the banks are not weak in China. They're not going to close. So many of the rumors were false. We have a reporter from Forbes who's well known and has been in China, and apparently, like the 1st of January, they installed some kind of a new system that would close down the stock market if there seemed to be some panic selling. And what happened was that people heard that they were installing this system, and it caused them to panic. So that was what was crazy. And then the U.S. stock market overreacted to China's accidental market free fall. And so there's just a bunch of silly things happening at the same time, according to the Forbes magazine article. And I have no information to say otherwise, since this is a holiday, Martin Luther King's holiday, and Benjamin Fulford has not come up with an update. I expect that he will in 24 hours, and and encourage people to go look at it then. So they're drawing parallels to when there was the overreaction and panic over Greece, even though Greece's economy was so small and minuscule, and it wasn't really going to affect the global economy, but people overreacted.
No.
So I'm going to go.
No. No.
Someone needs to mute. They are concerned that the Chinese are not consuming and buying things. Their middle class isn't, so that's hurting the Chinese government growth, and they're not investing like we do. So it's kind of strange, but actually there's a lot of good news. Is so that China should not really be a major concern, according to Forbes. Well, what else is happening in our world today? Mr. Kesh out of Italy had a remarkable summary of his life's work on December 31st, and it was quite interesting and quite exciting. He mentioned he would be adding to this following week, and here it is 18 days later, and I do not see where he has made a follow-up presentation, and I don't see, I've looked on his website. I am a little bit concerned. He was talking about all the problems coming down on him, and I do think we need to keep Mr. Kesh and his foundation in our prayers. He showed some amazing pictures of some of the Kesh boxes that are being made around the world, and he said that he personally went to view 2 of them that were made by individuals that are working beautifully. He's heard of a 3rd one that was working well. He did not get to personally see it. And he said he wanted 5, I think he said 5 working very, very well before he was going to take his program to the next level. And the inventor that followed his instructions hooked up his power box, and they're accessing the plasma energy. The atmosphere, the air in his home turned pale blue, and they were just amazed. And then they went outside the next day and noticed that there was this pale blue haze around their home and beginning to spread throughout the neighborhood. So Mr. Kesh was quite pleased. He thought that this would happen, was glad to get a confirmation that when you access the plasma energy for electrical and other reasons, it's going to help not only your own home, but those of your neighbors. And he said that these were 2 sweet older gentlemen that had a really sweet relationship, and that their emotional demeanor helped facilitate them having success with the Kesh Power Box. So I thought that was really exciting and interesting. And so I'm had an exciting start to our year, and of course we're all concerned with the minus 50-degree weather in the lower 48s. Certainly, my water is all frozen in my home, and power has gone off in some areas here in Missouri, and I have gone elsewhere to stay while there's no running water in my home. and lots of pileups and things north of us. So we all have to be extra careful and visualize. I'm curious. I'm wondering if the Galactics will say anything tonight about what Mother Earth is doing and what's going on with this unbelievable chill throughout so much of America. Well, I am meditating more. I've done more yoga, and yesterday I got a chance to go to a spiritual Sufi dance. So I'm following my New Year's resolutions, and I hope that you folks are as well. Well, that's it for the Candy Jar segment. What's next?
Oh, thank you, Candy. That was lovely. That was a great update. Well, I just wanted to read a 2-sentence something that I happened to see in a bathroom that I had gone into about a month ago, and I thought it was so cool that I took a picture of it, and when I was kind of stepping up for Liz, I thought of that. So I'll read it. I'll read it to you. It's a little bit inspiring. Like I said, it's only 2 sentences. So it's, you have to go wholeheartedly into anything in order to achieve anything worth having. Frank Lloyd Wright.
Wow.
I just thought that was kind of cool.
That's
beautiful.
It really is.
Yeah.
Is Christopher Jacobs going to be our speaker tonight? Is Chris Jacobs going to be here? Is Chris Jacobs
will
going to be here? Oh,
yes.
Good. I know our YouTube visitors want to know, too.
Yes, Chris will be here.
Good.
Yeah, he should be here same time Liz shows up. They'll be here within, I'd say, 40 minutes or 30 to 40. But, yeah, they're working on a little project. So I'm going to kind of keep it a surprise, and Liz can announce when they come in. So with that, Cynthia's going to be next after I do the Law of Fun. So any of you out there on the call, and those of you that listen to the replay, if you're able to stand up and join me standing up and just kind of reach, stretch. If you're not up for standing up, that's okay too. Just reach your arms up toward your ceiling or the sky, wherever you are, and stretch and take a deep breath. I'm laughing already. It's so corny sometimes that it's corny, but it works and it feels good and it's silly. So I always like it. But okay, pull that belly button. Pull your belly button towards your spine. Pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it. This is the way when you get really giggling. This is a really good way to get those sit-ups in without having to do sit-ups. And guess what? You have fun doing it. So take a deep breath while your tummy's pulled in. Exhale and grin like Garfield the cat. And while you're doing that, your muscles are already telling your body to release the chemicals of laughter and smiling. And so, oh, I got on mute real quick. Oh no. that for you. So I want to know who else this week's been silly. Like, has anybody went to put their phone in the dishwasher or went to put something away?
Oh, that one's good.
I take it. This is a lot of fun, Lily.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun out of control. I hope you all went to the bathroom first. Okay. Well, Liz is back. Liz is here. Liz. Oh,
you sound like you guys are having fun. You ever said, I'm going to go brush my face instead of brush my teeth, you know?
I like the phone in the dishwasher.
Hey. Hey, did Candy do her news then? Candy Shop Candy did her news?
Yes, she did. Mm-hmm.
I want to just add about the gas prices. You know, the gas prices have been going down since Christmas steadily. There were $2.74 in December, Christmas time, and today, not very far from Christmas, it's $2.55. You believe it, you guys? Yay, that's a good sign. Lily, thank you. Candy Shop Candy, thank you. Thank you for the lot of fun. Everybody get seated and comfortable. And we're going to bring on Cynthia, and we have Chris tonight after that. Or Cynthia, if you want to talk to Chris during the show, that's fine. Bring him in. Go, take it away, Cynthia Mariana Mayer.
Hi, Marianne, are you here?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Yay. Mare, did you make it? I don't think Mare's making it tonight until later.
I made it.
You made it. Hey. Oh, my goodness.
Party. Three sisters.
Yeah. Yeah, my birthday is February 17th. Marianne's birthday is February 17th, and Mary's is February 19th.
Oh, my goodness. You're February girls.
Oh, my goodness, is right.
Yeah. Before you guys get started, I wanted to just let everybody know this is reference number 356 pound. 356 pound, if you want to listen to it on the recording line as soon as we get done. And I am going to do a special meditation tonight after Chris is done. So stay tuned for Sweet Dreams tonight. It's very profound and it's very simple. So I want to teach you guys that. Okay. Chris, are you there? Just want to check.
Yes, I'm here.
There he is. That was fun, wasn't it, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hey, Liz?
Yes.
Well, this is Candy, and earlier I said that I was worried about Mr. Kesh not putting things out since December 31st, but I've done some more searching, and he did get a video out on January 7th, so perhaps everything is okay there in Italy, and that's good news. And I want to say that I joined some of the candy shop hands from Springfield, and we all went over to the Bernie Sanders debate watch last night, and it was fun being out with 100 young people and watching the Bernie Sanders debate and applauding him, and so it was a good evening.
Yeah, you know, that's getting it's fun to go out and be with people again. I can't wait, and you got a taste of that. Yes.
I did. Okay, that's it.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Cynthia, you're up. Marianne Mayer.
We're here. Well, what I want to say first off and foremost is that from now on for a few years, we're getting an echo.
Okay, everybody star 6, all the moderators star 6 except Cynthia, I guess. And I'll check the room for you.
Sure.
Try it now.
Okay, this is great. Beautiful. Neptune actually became stronger than Pluto and Uranus around 2012. It was beginning to, I'll put it that way. And now that they have been through their last exact square and they're moving apart, Neptune is the most powerful planet on the mass conscious transformation for the next few years, and it's going to peak on February 28th. It's going to peak. And I wanted to just give y'all a heads up and a warning about this, because not only is Neptune the ruling powerful force of what's unfolding, but Neptune is in Pisces, which is its exalted sign. And I wanted just to tell you what this is going to do. What it's going to do is it's going to dissolve anything and everything that doesn't work very well. It will just dissolve it. It's like putting WD-40 on rust. Things that are very stuck start working again. And whether it is physical issues that are not working very well, or whether it is emotional issues that are not working very well, or whether it is mental issues that are not working very well, or spiritual ones, they will dissolve into what does work, whatever that is. And it's peaking February 28th, and it's going to be going on for a few years. And it means that wherever people are stuck, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, or ecosystems are stuck, where situations are stuck, like old religions that should have died years ago, so that the one true religion, which is the core of all real religions, can just bloom anew. Those kinds of stuck places will absolutely and categorically dissolve. They will. You'll see it. But see, it's happening inside of us too. It's not just out there. Anything inside of us that is needing to dissolve. And I have figured it out as of yesterday what it is. In one word. Are y'all ready for this? And this is a miracle that I know this. It's called validation. And you might say, well, what does that mean? And I would say there are 3 aspects. It's the 3, Neptune, the sign of Neptune is the trident with the 3 forks. There's 3 aspects to it. There's 3 questions, I might say, okay? There's 3 questions that we have to always ask, okay? And they relate to the central nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system, and the sympathetic nervous system. We have 3 separate nervous systems in our bodies. Okay, and are you ready? Here it goes. And these 3 questions can be in any order. I'm just going to give you 1, 2, 3, but it doesn't have to be. You can switch them around, whichever one is the first. But these are the 3 questions. Number 1, are you validating others? are you validating others? Any other? Are you validating the environment? Are you validating Aunt Martha who lives in the apartment 3 stories over? You know, are you validating time and space? Are you validating others? You know, and if you're not validating, what are you doing? But the question is, are you validating them? Then the second question is, are they validating you? You know, is your journey through time and space when you're in the waking state validating you? Do you get physical validation, emotional validation, mental validation, spiritual validation? That's the second question. Are they validating you? And the third question is, am I validating myself? Okay? And that's pretty much sums up what's going on. And like right now as we're talking, Neptune is at 9 Pisces in an exact triune with Mars and Kronos. And wherever you see Kronos in a chart, it says at this time, you know, this is what's happening in time. And the 3 places they are is Neptune is in the place of travel. Mars is in the place of spiritual protection. And Kronos is at the place of occult faculties. So tonight as we do the law of one, it's very, very powerful. And oh man, I'm telling y'all, we're in powerful times. But the good news is that with this Neptune and Pisces, see, Pisces is the last constellation in the cycle. And it is a scalar wave. The symbol of it is 2 fishes swimming in opposite directions, and that's a scalar wave. And this plasma stuff, remember how Candy was saying that Kesh said that where these things are working great and doing this blue light, there's an emotional harmony that is present. And if you go back and listen, at one point he let it slip, a very key factor. And it's been verified in other places, and that is our hearts produce plasma. A human heart, when it is loving, produces plasma. So it makes perfect sense to me that these cash boxes would start working where there's already a plasma field being generated. And Marianne, what do you feel to say to add to this? And then, Mayor, I'd love to hear what you are feeling to say to add to this.
I'm right here.
Great.
The first thing I got when you were saying the blue energy and the heart, I got a picture of Avatar and of the blue, the blue man, and so it's, I mean, our heart can affect our neighbors, and just in our own meditation, and like the boxes, the energy of going out and affecting the neighborhood. As we know, our hearts are powerful, and in our meditations and in walking in the world, being in our heart and balancing our heart and mind together, we can affect the people around us. And we don't have to change to blue, but it goes out, and this is just coming through, that it just, we are the boxes, and maybe eventually we won't even need the boxes, but that's all I have to say, but that's pretty interesting.
Yes, it is.
So thank you.
It's definitely interesting.
Understatement.
My dear Watson, might it be a bit interesting?
That was a Maryism.
Oh my God.
I'll mute out.
Hi, this is Mary.
Oh,
this is Mary. I loved what Marianne said about that we are the boxes, and that is just so wonderful. So I think just being in a state of either gratitude or prayer, or just accepting what is and connecting with it, our feelings. Sometimes when we're not in a space where we're feeling love, just to feel whatever it is we feel and allow ourselves to just feel it and be okay with it. And then it does seem to shift and change when we do that. So I think it's just beautiful that Neptune is helping us to get in that place of our hearts right now.
It's going to dissolve whatever is keeping our love blocked in 3 ways. It's going to dissolve whatever is blocking us receiving love. It is going to dissolve whatever is blocking us from giving love. And it's going to dissolve whatever is blocking us from loving ourselves. And that is trippy, because there's no two of us alike. We will get completely out of comparison. We will get completely out of looking outside of ourselves for what to do. Everybody's going to become very authentic. Everybody's going to become one of a kind and proud of it, in complete harmony with their own self. And see, the thing is, as I was saying earlier about the word validation, if those 3 petals, if everyone's validating themselves and they're validating each other and they're being validated by each other, can you imagine? I mean, that's Christ. I mean, that's everybody becoming Christed. I mean, that is just profound. And that is the blasting of the plasma of the heart that transforms and transmutes everything through intent. And so as this power is unleashed on the planet in both ways, both through occult faculties, such as shown by the masters and the prophets, but also by these devices, it'll be very, very important that the energy is qualified with the law of one. So let's say the law of one, okay? Everybody knows it. The new people, you're going to learn it now. Memorize it. Because this is the original law of creation. Hold it. I have a chihuahua issue going on. I accidentally knocked one chihuahua onto another chihuahua. And a few growls have ensued here. But anyway, back to the law of one. A little dogma thrown in here. But back to the law of one here. This is the original law of creation. And this law is the seed law from which all other laws come from. And this law overrides all other laws, whether they're civil laws are social laws. And so, as a representative group of people here, representing the planet, we're saying we are activating this law to override all other laws in the whole creation. So let's do it. I'm going to say a line, and then we'll all repeat after me, whether we can unmute or not. Just do it. Here we go. You know, if it's in your heart to do it, it goes like this. We are all one. We are all one. When one is harmed, all are harmed.
When one is harmed, all are harmed.
All are harmed.
When one is helped, all are helped.
When one is helped, all are helped.
All are helped.
Therefore, in the name of who I am,
therefore in the name of who
I am,
and I am one with all there is.
And I am one with all
And
there
I
is.
am one with all there is.
I ask that only the highest good
I ask that only the highest good
only the highest good
of all concerned
of all concerned
happen.
And
I give thanks.
And I give thanks.
And I give thanks
That this is done.
that this is done.
So be it.
So be it.
So be it.
And so it is.
And so it is.
So it is.
Woo! Thank you. Chris, I turn it over to you, my friend.
All right. I wanted to say here while you were speaking a little bit ago about scalar waves, there's a group I don't hear from very, very often. They're called Xeons. And sometimes I'll see them as, people forms, other times they're energy bursts. And apparently this one's around you and Richard, Cynthia. He just this guy wanted to point that out. And let me see, he called himself Poor Min. And he says generally he's a guide to Richard. But let me see. What do you have to say? He said he had a lot to say to the crowd, but after that he didn't say anything. So I'll see if he's still here. Okay, yeah, he came in and it was a real deep purple. At first I thought it was a black orb, but it was it's actually a deep, deep purple with like a midnight blue in there. And let me see. Says, he wants to speak. Okay. Never had the Seance speak through me before. I usually speak for them, not have them through me. So let's see how this goes. My name, as you know, is Tiphoman, and I am of a race of beings known as the Seance. We purvey over the grand illusion and maintain a balance between the lack of knowledge and maintain a balance between the knowledgeable and between the effects of the reality in which you know and the effects of the reality in which you do not know anything of. We see all that is in front of us, so we wish humans to see that is all in front of them. These scalar waves in which you have pointed out are indeed the partial natural effect of space. However, many, many, many centuries ago, My people saw their launch point, as you humans would say. This launch point I speak of is in a galaxy extremely distant from your home. This galaxy is not known to humanity. It lies in dimness and in shadow. There is a species there that was once held in high regard. The caregivers, as you now call them, were once from there as well. You originally spoke of them as universe killers, but they are no longer of consequence. I also speak of several others in that system, but the main ones from that system took a technology that was far greater and far more advanced than they were used to. They discovered this on their world by someone else who had left it there that is no longer present in this universe. They used this to enhance the effects of their star. All the energy of their sun echoed out into the universe. Their sun's energy was depleted and drained, as were all the planets towards their galactic core. Their galactic core is faint and has been dimming and dying for centuries. This energy you feel in the form of scalar waves on this system is of that system and have been traveling through the depths of space for 1 trillion of your years. This wave carries with it not just energy, it carries with it the consciousnesses of trillions of species within that galaxy. These consciousnesses either have preceded or post-seeded the wave. These species include such species known to this one, he's referring to me, one species this one knows of is known to this one as the Night Givers. This species had a wave hit their world full force and carry their consciousnesses off into space. They are now within the depths of the multiverse. This one showed them the way to physical form once again. However, the Night Givers were the tip of the iceberg, as you humans say. More consciousnesses have hit other worlds on their way here and have gathered more souls towards this area of space. They intersect at this grid point, which is Earth. The higher beings, as you called them, would call it the dimensional standard by which all beings live, that is, in the moment, as humans would put it. That grid point would be like your latitude and longitude, as you know it, but in a more omniversal sense. This latitude and longitude has guided the way for these waves to hit. The Ra group have since filtered these waves and have allowed the consciousness within the waves to scatter through the system by however they see fit to do so, or within the multiverse itself, or anywhere within creation that they wish to take physical form once again. This original species caused an imbalance in this universe and in several others. This species is now amongst those who are lost in these waves. They are called by only one name. Humanity would know them by the prophecies said amongst your kind. They, though they've gone by many names, one name has been shown and driven forth. The word is Magog, or the Dark Ones. They have seen what has gone on in this system for centuries. Some have taken physical forms, some have not. They were on Maldek when it exploded, and some of their energy carried forth to Earth and made the cut, as you say, of history. However, those were the avant-garde, as you say. They are amongst you now, both dark and light beings. They can transcend different forms and, as you say, shapeshift into many other forms other than their own. They usually step back and watch and test humanity on occasion. They even tested the Draconians when they entered this system. They even tested the Greys on occasion. And they have come face to face, or head to head, as you say, with the Orion souls. But they, like any other species, have been made to balance and not waver from the path. So they were made to test people so that they could withstand the scalar waves better and the waves that your second star puts out. This star is more powerful than humanity believes that it is. It is a heart, and your original sun is a brain. The soul is the confluence between both of these suns, and they rotate around one another, heart and brain. Brain has been the forefront. Now heart is the forefront. As the scalar waves come through, the forefront energy is of a purplish nature that the Magog could not handle, but the Orion souls are making them stay, as are the Ra grouping, making them stay to aid in this new age, whether they want to or not. They are stuck, as it were, here on whatever planetoid they decide to land upon. However, their species, as I have said, are not alone. These other species, some are energy species, some are physical, that their atoms have been spread apart, like the Night Givers. But fear not, these species will not harm you, even if that was their original intent to begin with. Some of these species were very much like you when these waves hit, and hit hard. Their atoms are now scattered amongst this system in a confluence of construction and destruction energy, which are two halves of the same coin. That's what these waves were made up of when this machine decided to fire this into the depths of eternity. But this is not the end for these species. They were always meant to come to this point. Some in Earth's past have contributed to the genome, even if they had not tended to do so. They became part of the primordial soup, as you call it, which sprang one of the first life forms on your world. This is why, eventually, the Anunnaki, or Orions as they are, had to split up an experiment that spanned 5 galactic ages. These 5 galactic ages were made up of 5 different species. This one knows of this, but he does not know the extent of the grand experiment. These species made up all of the races you know of on planet Earth. This is true. This is why there eventually became schisms in the different races, because at one time they were never meant to meet outside of their galactic age. This is why you had hardships such as racism, hardships such as apartheid in Africa, situations such as the schisms between the red man and the white man in North America, such schisms as any sort of bigotry on your planet. Even though the Draconians caused much of this, in fact, they caused all of this to some extent because they interfered with the grand experiment. They merged all 5 galactic ages. This is why we say to you now, there is no such thing as time as you know it, ever since the grand experiment was merged. Even the grand Orion souls do not know how this experiment will end. They had only a clue as to what would happen when all ages were, as you say, separated through barriers in time. Even then, time was not as people know it to be. It is more spherical in nature. Parallel timelines upon parallel timelines, future, past, present, all exist in one big ball. As you say, these Orion souls, these Anunnaki, only can sit back and watch as their children become more than they had ever intended. In the future, as you say, even though there is no time, there are others that they experimented on to help create the human race that will join humanity once again. They have been isolated on another plane of existence, in another time, on an island. These beings have animal DNA. These beings have human DNA. These beings are only known to myth and legend as beings such as Minotaur and creatures such as that. Some are in the inner earth. Your stories of creatures in the woods, such as, say, your Jersey Devil, for instance, are of this batch, as you say, of beings. However, now is not the time for these beings to come to Earth and re-enter the grand experiment. These were not just outcasts. They were trial and error, but these are sentient beings that have grown since they were first bred, and they are now akin to mankind and will one day rejoin them. However, my kind will see to it before this that the scalar waves integrate properly and see to it that these foreign atoms, as you would say, are scattered about the multiverse in an equal fashion to everything else. Even the night givers themselves could not fully come to this earth, but on several other earths they exist now as humans, though they have forgotten what they once were. Their genome, as you say, still contains that of their original genetic code, mixed with a bit or a slice of humanity within, mixed with a few other races, as all other humans in this plane of existence are. However, they will one day also meet up with humanity and remember what they once were in the higher densities. My name is T. Porman, and I am of the Seons, the purveyors of the grand illusion. This is what I came to say. Thank you.
Namaste, my brother. Namaste, Chris. Thank you. Wow. Now, this is synchronicity. This is what's been bubbling in my heart this last 2 or 3 days, and it's interesting. We're talking about scalar waves tonight, And I just want to add, with the scalar waves that Cynthia talked about, with the planets bringing in, and our galactic brothers and sisters that Chris just spoke of with our galactic brothers and sisters, there's other kinds of scalar waves. And just like Marianne mentioned earlier, we are the technology. So we'll be going into we are the technology. And we also will help, too, because we are a scalar wave, and we become stronger scalar waves when we come together. And that's the long story and lots to learn that has not ever been – there's not a lot of information out there regarding sacred sex scalar waves. Now, Cynthia knows some about it, and I'm looking to bring Nikki Betsy in, and we're going to have a show with Nikki and Cynthia and Chris talking about what sacred sex is. And it's a lot, but in a nutshell, you can have sex without being physical, having a physical body with somebody, with a mate. And that puts out a scalar wave of energy of love. And as we come into our heart and love ourselves and love and all that, what Cynthia talked about changes, we will be incorporating our energy scalar waves. You just want to say a sentence or two about that, Cynthia? I'm really excited to get Nikki. I hope I can get Nikki and you to talk about that. It's very pertinent information because you can look at the Kabbalah and see how they twisted it, sexual abuse and all that.
Yeah, quickly. The thing is, there's you can create a scalar wave in yourself, and that's called enlightenment. That's called the alchemical sacred intermarriage. You can create a scalar wave in yourself. And if you can find someone of the opposite sex who has also done that, so that you have two enlightened people who come together, this is what happens. They start at the top and they work down to the bottom, and then they go from the bottom to the top. And it's 7 levels of perception. The 7 chakras. The 7 chakras correspond to clusters of glands that secrete very powerful psychedelic substances into your blood. And when you create a scalar wave where the energy is going down and up at the same time, in other words, that couple has opened all the levels so that when they do have sex, it shoots up and it's shooting down at the same time. That's a scalar wave, and one will be going clockwise and one will be going counterclockwise, and it's just an amazing thing. And they both just get stoned as everything off of it, and the effects last for at least 2 weeks.
And it's not just for them, it's for the world, right?
Well, what happens is they put out a frequency that is life itself. It's plasma. See, we can generate plasma ourselves in our hearts by putting out unconditional love, receiving unconditional love, and giving unconditional love to ourselves. And then when we come with another person of the opposite sex, and that goes on. And this show that Elizabeth is talking about, I can tell you exactly what happens. Because the chakras are opposite in the two sexes. Like the top chakra in a man, the very top of the head, is electric. And on a woman, it's magnetic. And see, electric shoots out, and magnetic pulls in. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, on the third eye down, the woman is electric, the man's magnetic, and it goes bing, 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 all the way down. You see? And then when you're having sex, it'll go bing, 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 all the way up. And you create this scalar wave, which is plasma plus. I mean, whole villages will go fertile. It affects miles. And that's why they didn't want us to have ecstatic sex. They wanted to bring it down to where there was a hopelessness and an emptiness. And it's rampant with all kinds of sex scandals and all that around. But the thing is, I want to encourage everybody to keep working on themselves, because in this time, what Cynthia just explained can happen with you. And how does it happen with you? Is you love yourself first. And the more you can go into unconditional love, you will naturally
bring in your twin flame, and we'll talk about that more. The twin flame, that what Cynthia just explained, which brings out to the world a benefactor to the world. Isn't that interesting? So I really want to home in on that with Cynthia, Nikki, and Chris. That's going to be a fantastic show. I'm going to probably do two or three a series of those, because that's very important. It's a clue. It's very important. It's a very important pillar, because it's a clue. You can get it from the Cabal or, this matrix, that if something has been twisted and construed in a grotesque, yucky way, right, in all realms, you think about sex, then it's very, very, very important. So we want to bring that to the world. Thank you, Cynthia and Chris. So, Cynthia, are you done with your part? And then, Chris, I wanted to read Benjamin Fulford just came out.
I'm done. Thanks.
Okay, check this out, Cynthia. Benjamin Fulford just came out. It's just 2 paragraphs, Chris, and I wanted to see if there's any galactic brothers and sisters who want to come in and add to it or give their $1 million. I'm not going to say 2 cents, because we're all worth $1 million or more. Anyway, is that okay, Chris?
Yes, that's okay.
Okay. And then, by the way, since I came in late, just want to thank everybody, thank you to everybody that attended the Pioneering Call number 2, the Galactics coming in with their own voice. It was a fantastic time. Everybody got good feedback from it, and it was a great, great dream for me to come true. And Chris videotaped it in his room, and he saw even some orbs there. So a couple cameras going, a couple recorder types going, technologies, and Chris is going through that, and we'll be releasing that sometime down the line. I'll let you know. It was really great. Okay, and then just stay tuned for the awesome meditation after Chris is done, and maybe I thought, Chris, we'll do this part and anything else you want to do, and maybe we'll save time to bring 2 people in that haven't learned their guides yet. What do you think? We can do that tonight? Something a little different?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay, great. Okay, check this out, Cynthia. This is some of the news we brought in last week, you guys. And Benjamin Fulford for January 19th, 2016. The revolution continues with shipping freeze, stock plunge, U.S. dollar dumping, $20 oil, attacks on gold mines, and more. There is a systematic effort underway to remove all fraud from the world's financial system. This campaign is now getting to the point where some major financial institutions and countries, including the U.S. corporate government, are about to go bankrupt. This is all part of a hybrid war involving finance, supercomputers, we know some about that, special forces operations, news, propaganda, pinpoint assassinations, and more. Perhaps the most dramatic and underreported news aspect of this ongoing struggle, which we reported last week, thank you, Cynthia, has been the freeze on global shipping. To confirm reports on the internet of a shipping freeze, this writer called NYK Lines, that's capital NYK Lines, a major international shipping firm, and was told, "We cannot speak for the whole world, but as far as our company is concerned, with current shipping prices, we will lose money every time we send a ship, so we have stopped." Chinese government sources told this newsletter shipping companies are now demanding to be paid in Chinese yuan and not dollars, and that is a major reason for the freeze in shipping worldwide. Let me add, the BRICS are breaking off of the dollar, too, the BRICS banks. So maybe that's the transition crescendo point we're looking, the tug-of-war between the BRICS and the Federal Reserve. Okay. If this continues, it will lead to empty supermarket shelves and social unrest, especially in the U.S. The announcement last week by Walmart that it is closing 269 stores is just the beginning. Candy found that news. She told me about it. I don't know if she told it tonight. Another major dimension to this hybrid war has been the attack on the oil cartel and control of the petrodollar. It is this attack and not oversupply that is the real reason for oil prices plunging to the $20 per barrel level. And in the case of bitumen, the lowest grade Canadian oil, $8 a barrel level. What is happening is that China is insisting on paying with yuan for its oil, which is the BRICS. They joined the BRICS. Furthermore, now that sanctions against Iran have ended, Iran, which has some of the lowest production costs in the world, will be flooding the market with an extra 1 million barrels of oil per day. Oh, my God, that'll make our oil really drop. China is helping both Iran and Russia deal with low oil prices by sending them Chinese goods at cheap prices in exchange for their oil. India is also avoiding the petrodollar, which they're part of the BRICS, when it buys Iranian and Russian oil. This campaign will continue until Saudi Arabia, the Gulf Corporation countries, and the big Khazarian banks go under, according to Pentagon White Hats. The first Khazarian megabank domino that is expected to fall is, and it ends right there. So I'll find the full report later. All right, Chris, take it away. We have anybody coming in that would want to add to that or encourage us or anything?
Okay, let me see here. See who is coming through. There is someone. Let's see here. Okay, there's one being here. I think this person's brand new. Let me see. I don't recognize this person. See if they're just taking a different form. And, okay. There we go. There is someone else that is emerging.
I was just thinking of Thor or Tyler. I don't know. After it's one of them. I just thought of that. But who knows?
Let me see. Yeah, it's very interesting that you would bring that up. After I'm done with this part, I'll talk about something I found out about Valiant-Thor. But let me see here. I'll see who this is. Oh, it's speaking of Tyler, this is exactly who this is. Okay. He was, for some reason, he was concealing himself, and he had
Welcome,
somebody else.
Tyler. I missed you. Thank you for coming, bringing your presents.
Let me see, and he is okay. Yeah, he was bilocating, but I didn't see him completely. Okay, now I went to him just so I can actually see him for his real form, and he's saying, many changes are taking place on your world as of right now. However, the cabal is using this financial burden to frighten the people into lowering their vibrational levels. This is a plan they've had for many, many decades that they think is coming to fruition, but it is in the judgment of my council that we will step in to intercede on humanity's behalf. When this comes about, and when these Khazarians, as you call them, or inborns, as this one calls them, are found out, there will be a momentary upheaval. However, will be just but a momentary lapse. These inborns can be detected with technology, the scanning technology that the cabal possesses. This is why they know where to have certain ones at certain times. Anytime you have run into a situation where your household is in slight upheaval and there is an individual in that household that does not seem to adapt well to either change or to money struggles, in some rare instances you have an inborn draconian involved. They are a disembodied draconian consciousness that chose to leave their reptilian form and incarnate throughout the centuries since times of Atlantis, and some prior and some after. Let me see what he's saying. They incorporated themselves into the average person's lives to cause chaos and fear. They are the ones that are driving the emotions wild during this money crisis, or supposed money crisis. They are the ones causing this within the household. They are the ones that are panicking for the majority of the time in people's marriages, people's livelihoods, people's businesses, people's gathering places. They are to be ignored for the most part, and light sent to them on a regular basis. However, these individuals will try to step up their game, though they do not know as such because of the reincarnation process. They will be just as dumbfounded as the people around them. They have no active memory of their origin points, their draconian directives. They only know that they are afraid and are panicking. However, this new energy will not see them through to the future if their core directives are not changed or altered in some way. So, these Khazarian lines and other inborn families, such as parts of the Rothschild clan, parts of the other Illuminati families, will cease to be unless these inborns adapt and form a new energy matrices. And now he is saying, as for your commentary about the one you know as Valiant-Thor, he actually works for me, even though he is of Venusian origins and I am of Niburian origins. And we do not necessarily have a hierarchical structure in the human sense. He does work for me. You would be surprised at his true look. This one was equally surprised when I revealed the true face of Valiant-Thor. Okay, and I'm going to see if Valiant-Thor will come through.
Nice. Thank you for sharing that. Namaste.
And all of you on here will be extremely surprised when I found out who he actually is. Even he said he was on television. He said he was hiding in different forms in the press. And this also came up in EVP form from some of the things that came up from the pioneering call. Yes.
Cool.
And this came up with that. And I haven't asked Valiant-Thor yet. I'm just waiting to see if he comes through. Right now, okay. Yeah, it looks like he's going to come through. I'll let him tell you who he actually is, where people can actually recognize him. Okay. He's saying he wants to speak. As you know, all of you, my brethren of Earth, my name is Valiant-Thor, and I have used many other names on your press, on your television sets, on your radios, since the technology has sprung about. However, you know me by a couple of different names on your TV. I will only give these two to you, so that you may recognize me when I am amongst the people. Not that the cabal will be able to stop me from engaging in my endeavors. It is quite impossible for them to do so. I just wished for no one else to be in the danger zone, as you say. One of my forms is a reporter, both online and on television. I will only give his description and not his name, for he is me. He has brown, sandy hair, light eyes, and he reports on all the findings the cabal lets fall through the cracks. People think that this man is a false flag, when in fact he is not. That is the cabal trying to mess around, as you say. He sometimes wears a beard, and he sometimes does not. He sometimes reports on all the facts, and sometimes he steps back and watches the facts bloom as time progresses. The second person, I will only say the description at first, then I will say the name. He is, as this one says, highly telepathic. As this one says, he tried to put a bug in his head to fully disclose that which should have been done long ago. However, that was not possible in its entirety at the time of that window's opening. This person has given many speeches. I am this person. The only reason I concealed my true appearance from this one was for safety reasons. The person called your current President of the United States, Barack Obama, that figure is myself in human
cool.
form.
Wow. Nice.
He is me. That is how I truly appear. This form that you have seen online as of a lighter-skinned, fair-haired individual is how I appeared to be back in the 50s and 60s and 70s. I changed back to my original look ages later, decades later, after the cabal decided to pay closer attention to myself. They have only recently begun to suspect this is who I am. They can do nothing about this. They can do nothing to stop me from helping disclosure, though they have tried on many, many occasions. This is why they condemn what I do in that position. I only revealed this to this one recently because of, oh God, he's going to say something. This is because of his incessant nagging on the subject. So I had to reveal my position slightly early, but that is all right with me. When you see me on the television set, I am not disclosing things for a reason. I and my family are not necessarily from here. This is true. However, I do not wish them harmed. I do not wish humanity harmed. Yes, I planned to fully disclose aliens and the like to the world back in your 2009. However, there was a trusted friend that is no longer at my side that revealed things far too early and far too quickly in his expectancy of full disclosure. However, I later learned that a trusted friend was turned by the cabal and always had been. This man is an earther human. I will not reveal his name at this time. Just know the one that spoiled your full disclosure at that time is who that man is. My trusted friend, Unya, is someone else in your current history that you would know that this one was also surprised with, because he had seen two side by side, and myself side by side with this Barack Obama persona. I wished this to occur this whole time. This being, as you know, along with myself, have infiltrated at least two sects of your world. These two sects would be religion and government. The other one is academic, and the other is ever-changing. The religious sect should be obvious to everyone who this individual is. He is your Pope Francis. He is my trusted right hand. The being you know as Unya, the Cyclops. You would not see him with just his one eye. He is in a current disguise. If he appeared as he truly looked, people would not take him seriously, though that is a shame. It is the truth of the world as it stands. I am Valiant-Thor, and I speak for all of my kind. I speak for Tyler. I speak for Unya. I speak for the rest of my team within my spaceship at Lake Mead. I speak for anyone who has found their voice. I speak even for the ones who have not. I will help free this world, even if it means slower than some people would like it to be. Thank you.
Well, namaste, Thor. I have a question. If you can answer it, if it's not. Anyway, my question, okay, you said you were those people. Do you have and I know one of our supernatural natural powers, all of us, we can morph into different people, or do you go into somebody with your energy body, merge with them? Or how does this, can you give a little bit of background?
Yes. Though others can channel my essence, the beings you see are actually myself. I can, as you say, shapeshift and change with the energies, even though I have an original form, which is the one you see as your current president. That is my actual face. But all others, as I said, the other few were solid forms as well, though I can raise my vibration to go into different densities. Condensing into a ball of energy is not something that I am capable of as of right now. Let me see. I believe that was the answer to the question. He stepped back for a minute.
Thank you. So, Chris, like Thor, there's other, is this what they mean by ETs, boots on the ground? Is there other ETs that can morph into, like, our commentaries in the news? They look like humans, but they're really ETs that can morph, like we see in these sci-fi movies, There's one where a gal was walking into a hallway, she was going into a meeting, and then as she was walking, she morphed into a different woman. So do you think this is how we see ETs, boots on the ground? They look like humans, or I guess they morph from their original state. I don't know what I'm trying to ask. You see what I'm trying to ask?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we, the Venusian people, do have this ability. But just know the Venusian people are of other races and kinds as well. Even though you would call yourself, say, an American, you are still different shapes, sizes, and colors. It is the same on Venus. There are many different alien races. I, myself, have a little bit of human in me, and a little bit, a very small amount of reptoid, and a small amount of Syrian star being. But I inherited the ability of transmutation from the Syrian star beings, and we can take the forms that look similar to ourselves. The brown skin you currently see me have can change to its natural blue tintage whenever I wish it to. I just chose to keep the brown form, of which was easier to take on, other than the lighter pigmentations. My cells are energized and can also create fields of illusions in front of people. This is how I was able to help Dr. Strange's enter the Pentagon without identification. The term used today to describe this would be more like your Star Wars movies, the Jedi mind trick. However, the majority of the ability I use is this, but I do, on occasion, have to change forms. There are others of my kind here that are multiracial that also have changed forms. If you saw their true visage, you would more than likely see either blue, green, or darker skin coloring, or you would see one eye like Unya, but they are in key positions of academics, government, religion, and amongst the everyday people in a multitude of respects. In fact, there is one other here, a woman that is amongst your kind that lives in the British Isles. She works at the main governmental archive, of which your people hardly know of. It is very similar to your country's Library of Congress. She is amongst that library and ascertaining whether the knowledge that they are withholding should be withheld any longer. She sees over the books and the papers and the files, very much like a librarian. She gathers what these people have attempted to delete, as you say, or discard. She carries with her a great burden, for if she would ever be found out, then these records would be lost for good. However, she has created a backup in several cities across your world. These cities have their own AI infrastructures and will, in fact, hold this knowledge in high regard for the day of disclosure. She is known to this one as Circe, the goddess in Greek mythology. She told him she was of Lemuria. This is not completely false. However, the majority of the time she was of the Venusian colonies, and she spends her time, or has had spent her time, in the Agarthan underworld, but chose to surface after long last to aid us all in this struggle for humanity's supremacy over the true darkness. I and many others have infiltrated these positions. Another of our kind is the one you call Vladimir Putin. He is of Venusian origin as well, but you would recognize him currently on your internet in several different forms over a period of time. Just know these images are quite accurate. He is extremely old, on the cusp, as you say, of 12,000 of your years or more, depending on if his age has been correctly categorized. I believe that was a joke. Let me see. He is also of Syrian lineage. He has passed as two of your famous individuals as of many, many centuries ago. He is St. Patrick of the British Isles. He is also St. Germain. He is also many others in your history, such as El Moria of Mexico, and many other beings in which humanity is less familiar. The reason I reveal him now is because it is becoming a well-known fact that I wished to clarify. He will not mind that I poke fun at him. In fact, he will do the same to me later. But just know that he is the least of your people's concerns. The cabal tries to make him look bad on a whim. This is just a joke to us, as you say, because we know the truth will be out soon enough.
Okay. Go ahead, and I want one more question for you, Thor.
Okay.
Okay, Thor, thank you for all that. That was great. I'm just trying to understand this for us, you know. So you're President Obama and you're another news reporter, just say. So were you born through your mother's womb as President Obama, or did you come later? And are you born through the mother's womb for both President Obama and that news reporter? Or how did you come about? And then I have a follow-up question.
The reason
and
there
is that
was
an
such
example of like is that like an example of our multidimensional selves? We have more than one self, all of us. So are you saying you're like a multidimensional self in human form, born through mother's womb on the earth, like an example of what we can be? And it sounds exciting. Go ahead.
The reason there was such controversy behind my so-called birth certificate was the cabal attempted to introduce controversy behind me when they began to suspect who I truly was. Since I have never shown my true visage to humanity before, I was actually born off-world, far from here, of a very long time ago, to two physical parents, of which I cannot reveal at this time because they are on Earth at this time. Any stories you have heard about me are false in regards to my origins. Humanity has never heard my true origin story in its completion, but we'll do so right now. But
it's like the Superman story, right? Kind of?
In a sense, yes, that is very similar. However, my parents are right here on the earth with me.
Wow.
Let's see what he has to say. Okay. I think he's waiting for something, another question.
Oh, okay. You were gonna tell your story? You want to explain that story? You want to save it for another time?
Okay. Yes, I was actually conceived of many, many centuries ago in the Sirius star system amongst the blue beings this one knows as the Sirian star beings. However, one of my parents had Riptoid Circassian in their DNA. Another transcendent species. This gave me a slight advantage amongst walking around the draconian presence on Earth. I registered to them as similar to their own, so they left me alone. Yes, they now hear this story as I speak. My parents came to this sector of space many centuries prior, when Venus was only starting to bud, as you would say, long after it rolled out of its original orbit. They helped build the Venusian colonies on the interior of the planet, and many other races began to utilize this structure and set of structures. This is where I began to grow up and begun to see myself as solely Venusian and not Sirian star being, as do many other races that inhabit Venus. I then began my journey to Earth many, many years later in the story you people know as Stranger at the Pentagon. Then began more of my journey into the great unknown, as you say. I wove a seed of doubt amongst the cabal, and I wove a seed of light amongst the rest of the people. When I brought together my, as you say, ragtag team of revolutionaries, I began to form the agents by which you know them as. There are far more than even Dr. Strange's knew. Far more included than even this one knows, and will probably not know, but will soon. I then journeyed forth across the great expanse that is the multiverse, and saw one Earth after another fall at the hands of your cabal, whether they were original to that universe or they were a foreign invader from this universe. I saw one Earth die, one by one. Then I became slightly worried as to how much power these beings actually possessed. So I took it upon myself to incur my team upon their facilities and stripped them of their interdimensional and time-traveling capabilities. Humanity is not ready for such greatness of technological influx, but it will be revealed at the proper time when humanity is ready for such greatness. They, in turn, were not happy with me, yet they still did not quite grasp who I was to them, even though they knew me from before. So I took my real face, though it's not my real coloring, I took my real face and wove even deeper into your political realms and governmental realms, and began to sow the seeds of doubt amongst the senators and congressmen and representatives of your faux government, let's say. The real power is far behind the puppetry that they show, but you all knew that already. The bulk, as you say, of their power is not as secretive as they would like. Their voices slip on your television. Their voices of arrogance slip, ever growing exponentially in the face of humanity. This is not by their design. This is by my own design. I have used my abilities thus far to make them slip that much further into telling the truth and becoming their own truth and becoming their own beings, sovereign beings themselves. However, some of them will have to just not be on this planet any longer when the day comes, and I do not mean through violence. So I will leave no room for misinterpretation. I will speak plainly. They will be moved. They will be moved to a different universe by which the earth is barren and lifeless. They will live as hermits in the dust, in a vibration of their making. All of the lower density vibrations in which they crave will be vented off to this universe and be forgotten long after we have all risen to the occasion. I do not say this out of anger towards them. I do not say this out of hatred towards them, so I do not wish humanity to hate them in return, nor do I wish people to become afraid at all of their false flags, all of their negative inclinations, all of their biases, all of their lack of strength, all of their willful possessions of people, all of their deceptions through projections of which I have had to help shut down. Recently, they attempted to incur a false second coming, as you say. They have also belittled your paranormal research by also utilizing a series of projections holographically within haunted sites along the face of your world. Not all of them are as such, but there are telltale hints that will surface if these projections are used. They are a series of stories that are repetitive and nonsensical. They will repeat over and over again in your mythos. This is what they wished to be. They are but a distraction amongst what actually is. They are your lady in white, your, as you say, Marys, your mothers of God projections, as you say, like Fatima, for instance, and Medjugorje, even though those were benevolent contacts. Those are the example that I'm using to the opposite polarity. We attempted holographic contact then to make sure your race was ready for our arrival at that time. The Cabal utilizes this same technology when creating ghostly apparitions of great intensity. These apparitions will answer questions, interact, even act afraid, or even show up on minor recordings on some level. These are but a computer programming that was preset long ago to show the way to a, as you say, false flag. This is the project you know of as Blue Beam and many others just like it. This was also going to be used to create false alien invasions, but I and the one you know of as Tyler stopped this from occurring. The only thing we were unable to stop was your 9/11 attacks. However, their incursions did not go unseen. We showed the people their mistakes in a much minor sense, then the people figured it out from that point forward. This blue beam, unfortunately, is still in operation. However, this must remain until the time of disclosure. This toy, as you call it, will, upon its revelation, surprise and shock many as to how often it was used. Shutting it off right now would send a cascade of fear throughout the human race. So this, just know, is being shut down very slowly indeed. Even this one does not know how many of his ghostly encounters were actually that of blue beam. Some are not, some are.
And Thor, I just want to expand the law of one for the highest good of all concerned to the blue beam that Cynthia prayed at the beginning of the call. We can at least do that. So we'll expand it, and we'll put it under the highest good of all concerned. And, yeah. And thank you for all that information. My goodness. Now, I want to just empower, encourage maybe myself and all of us of our supernatural, natural gifts or powers. And one of them is we're more than one person. We have multidimensional beings of copies of all ourselves, and kind of what you explained you are on Earth. So, okay. And explaining that science of that right now is too long, but how do you, just say, for example, you're President Obama and you're a news reporter and maybe other people, all simultaneously you are. How, can you explain to the audience, how do you experience you being many people all at once? Is there any way you can put it in words a little bit? That's interesting. It's exciting to me. So how do you experience being more than one person at the same time?
In all actuality, I am just me, but I have trickery up my sleeve, as you humans would say. Some of it is my mental capabilities. Others are more holographic incursions and projections, most of which are actually me. I am not any two people on the television at any one time and place, with the exception of very few. Holographic technology is far more advanced than humanity knows. It can become a solid form that can register as a living human. I have done this several times in the past so that people think that I am just one person when I am another or both. It is a useful piece of technology created by the Syrian star beings and the Orion souls. This is highly advanced technological know-how, as you say, but in the sense of reality, yes, there are duplicates of you humans throughout the multiverse, many thousands, in fact. However, when I searched the cosmos for myself, I only found that I was the only one of my kind, since the Syrian star beings are from an origin outside of the normal multiverse. There are only one set of Syrian star beings in reality. Though there are a lot of them, there are no duplicates amongst the multiverse, since they are from outside. Okay. So when you see that I am portraying more than one person, just know one of them is a misdirection, at least a fourth of the, or a third of the time. Thank you.
Okay, so just for example, if you're President Obama, you're a news reporter, and you're 5 other people, and you're all on Earth, and you're all living your life at the same time, and you are conscious of all of those lives, how do you experience it? I mean, do you see 5 television screens, or how do you experience all those lives at once? Isn't that hard to put into words? But in fact, are you conscious of all those, and how do you experience that in your own head? You know what I mean? It's hard to put in words, isn't it?
Now here he has a big answer coming. He says, those lives are but an illusion. They don't actually exist. They are but a form that I take and say that I have a life as that person, when in fact it is a lie that has been spread by myself and several others of my kind, and I don't actually go home and live that life. The only one I go home to actually live a life of, as is the one as President Obama.
Okay, wow. But so that's different than our multidimensional selves then, right? That's a technology you use. And we are the technology. So as we grow in higher vibration and our gifts come online, we'll talk more about our multidimensional selves. You guys are many selves. That's so fun. Sounds fun to me anyway. Thor, I'm sure you had some fun times and still do.
Yes.
One more question. Does the Cabal know that there are many people on this earth that are using technology like a multidimensional self, like you? Do they know it, and have they known it? But they just can't figure it out, right?
They know something is off kilter, but they are not yet completely aware of what is going on. They know they have been infiltrated, but they don't know from what direction they have and how many have.
Oh, my goodness. And that goes together with what I've heard Andrew Bartz's talk long ago, that the Cabal has these energy machines or whatever to check everybody that's coming through the birth canal or other ways. But there are many beings, Andrew says, that were able to sneak by them and come in. So I'm sure you're one of them, amongst many more. Where there's a will, there's a way, right?
Quite correct. I have snuck in, as you say, on many levels of your country's security, visible and invisible.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for all what you brought in. That took some courage and faith, but we're trusting it's the time. You knew it was the time, you brought it in, and then that's encouraging to us that people are able to come out of the closet more, peek out even more. So you say that it kind of is a measure of where we're at in the world changes, so that we're transitioning through. Yay! Thanks, Thor.
Let's see if he has
How
anything else to add. Let's see. He says, okay, now he's waving to everyone, and he's saying he has to go now. I'm seeing the static build up around him, and he's saying blessings to everyone, and he's bowing out now.
Thank you. Well, Chris, let's give you a little break. Let's see if there's any questions or comments from the room. Would you like to do that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, so any questions you guys have or comments, and then I'll take one person when we get to it who has not had to learn their guide yet. If you want to just come in and say your name, but come in and you guys have been listening to this. Let's get some of your thoughts or some of your what your heart's been telling you, or comments or anything you want to add.
Chris, it's
Hi,
it's Mary Ann. I just have one. I have one question. It was in regards to the individual prior to Te Pormen, or however you pronounce his name. With the beings that became atoms or became waves, I guess, will there be a time when they will be whole again?
Oh yes, I saw this happen. I've seen this happen before. They can adapt to the species that they are near, and since they're near humanity and other alien races, they can kind of bond with that and become whoever they're around.
Okay, so they can. Well, what I'm asking is, will they be able to gather their atoms throughout the universe and come back as a whole being.
Oh yes, will. I mean, some things I believe were like vaporized over a period of time by solar radiation and such, but they've picked up enough molecules from other races along the way that they'll be able to re-solidify here in this system.
Okay, great. All right, thank you. That's my question.
Thank you, Marianne. Okay, come on, you guys. It's your turn. Come and share comments or thoughts. Star 6 to come on in. I got the room open. And is there anybody out there would like to learn their guide tonight? And I make you promise that you'll keep relationshiping with them in the privacy of your own home when you learn their name and what they look like, and just, keep galactizing with them.
Can we ask a question about ourselves, or does it have to be related to what we just heard?
Related to what we just heard right now. And then, yeah.
Okay.
Is there any...
You can, yeah. I would say that's all right.
Is it okay? Well,
yeah.
Well, I have a combination question. I know that since you told us that there are some blocks that currently we have and they will be removed in February 28th. However, I have been told by several people that you know of that there are some things that I was expecting to happen, which is in December and also January, including my career and work, and did not happen. And I'm wondering if there was some sort of a block that's put on me personally that I was hoping that I can receive help and have that removed, or what changed that those things that were told to me by well-known, people who have their third eye open, and I trust all the words they say, that did not happen. So can you help me with that?
Yes. What the thing is, it's tricky telling the future. It's always constantly in flux, and when some seers will see certain things as happening. Now, there are certain things that can interrupt that. There can be an oppressive force that interrupts that, but there also has to be a role on your part. You have to actually make it happen as well. Like, I could tell something that could happen in the future, but I will be seeing the effect and not the cause. So the person will have to have brought it about, or an oppressive force will have prevented it as well. I've seen both cases where people have come to me and said, "Oh, this future didn't happen," and other seers do that. They try to see some of these things as set in stone when they're actually more fluid, and the setting in stone part is up to the person to do.
Yeah. Well, in my case, I did my part. I had 3 interviews. I had applied to jobs, so the things that I usually do. So my question was just that if there's something happened in between what I was told and the time that is a new thing and it wasn't there at the time, that cannot be removed and opened any obstacles.
I believe that there may have been a force that interrupted this. More than likely, heard these other people say this information to you, and may have turned the tables when you were trying to get a job. I take it.
Yes.
Yes. Whoever was going to give that job to you, it was changed on a dime because there was an entity that stepped in and had the situation turn left instead of it turning right.
Okay, and it was not for my highest, right?
No. I'm seeing like a demonic entity that did it.
I believe that. That's happened to me literally in a job. And I heard them laughing when there was, they had me in a room, they're doing a orientation thing and whatever.
So
but you know what?
You're that?
The law of one.
Yeah, but at the time when you're sitting in the interview, okay. So anyways, I don't want to take too much of time. I just have one other question related to our president. as what we just heard. I don't know if it was during this channeling or some other during this conversation some other time, that our president has given into some fear, that has bought into some fear, and he was actually coached into becoming a president. Is that true? Is this correct information?
I believe, since this is Valiant-Thor at work, I believe he was just playing along with the Cabal, since he's far more powerful than they are. I believe he was just playing along with it, so they believed they had the upper hand so that he could get deeper into their circle.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Miss California.
Thank you.
Okay, so Candy, let me know. There's new people that haven't learned their guide yet, and if Kelly, Cindy, Sabrina, Kyle, or April, or Boris, if any of you guys are there, *6, come in and learn one of your guides. It's fun. It's fun to galactowise. That's what we do every Monday with Chris and Cynthia and all of us. Marianne,
Hi, this is Kelly.
Hi, Kelly. Nice to meet you. How did you find the Diamond Network?
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
How did you find us? I always ask that question.
Candy? Well, it was first Jolynn and then Candy.
Oh, you're friends with them?
Yes.
Nice. Were you just here with Candy at the meeting she went to?
Last night, yes. We were together last night.
Oh, nice. Would you like to learn one of your guides who's been with you all your life?
I would love to learn more. I think I heard a little before, and I'd like to learn more, yes.
Okay. Well, you're the one. You came in. So thank you for taking the step up and facing the fear and go through the fire. All right.
Okay.
Take it away, Chris.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. See if I can find one of your guides here. Let's see. I do see several the entities around you. Let's see. I'm seeing like these weird clouds that are around you. It looks like there's one oppressive entity near you. He's gone. Okay. Yes, I'm seeing a large guide that's actually near you. Going to get a name. Looks like he's a member of the Ra group. I'm seeing a bird figure. And see if I can get a name from him. He looks almost like an ibis head or like a stork head type figure. And let me see here. Let's see if all their names start with Raul, so I'm going to see if I can get a name off of him. He says his name is Raul. Let's see. Okay. Okay, it is. Oh, it's a hyphenated name. It's RA-UL-WYM-MOR. Wymore. I'm trying to see how I pronounce it. Wymore. And let's say he is saying he is your guide, or your main guide. Let's see what he's saying has to be done here. Yeah, your energy has a lot of colors in it. He's a lot more than normal. Let's see. He's saying he's aiding in getting negative entities away from you. Him and the Ra group are. There was this weird looking hat man that was near you. I could see this weird outline, almost like he was a drawing. And I've seen this type of figure before. I encountered one of these this weekend when I was in Burwell, Nebraska, and these tend to be Cabal related. And so, so I got rid of rid of him, and it looks like this Raoul Wymore is getting rid of him, and I'm just sending energy in to clear your whole place there to make sure that they don't mess with you. But I can see like fairy lights and such around you.
The what? I'm sorry, the what around me?
I can see fairy lights around you.
Okay.
A lot of them.
I would imagine that's
definitely
a good thing.
Yep, that's a good thing. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, definitely this Raoul Wymore. I believe that's how he pronounces Wymore.
Okay.
Yeah, he's your main guide.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. Is there anybody else that has comments that would like to come in? And then don't forget to stay for the meditation when Chris is done. Is there anything you wanted to bring forth, Chris, tonight? From you or anybody that has a pertinent emergency?
I don't really know of anyone except for some people in my group. If Diane is listening right now, which she wouldn't be. She's on another radio show right now. If people want to focus their energy on her this evening, she had suffered an attack by a very malicious being not that long ago, and she's starting to kind of wonder why she's even in this. So everyone here can send her Law of One, whatever light energy you wish to. I believe her to be a changer, so you can send her all the energy.
Absolutely, and we're going to expand the Law of One that was prayed earlier to her. Special delivery. Pow. Law of One into her life in that circumstance. Thank you, Chris, for that. That's great. And we're going to expand it to candy, too. Pow. I have these little stickers that they're little alien men, and they got a gun that shoots pow, pow. So I do that for candy. The Law of One through that little pow, pow gun. But the Law of One is good. Doesn't kill you. It loves you. Okay, I want to confirm, everybody, that Chris will be on the Candy Shop show this Wednesday. I think the next 2 Wednesdays, right, Chris?
Yes.
And be sure, you guys, Wednesday's Candy Show starts an hour later than this, and that's at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. I can't figure out time. It's hard for me. So it's an hour later than this one starts. So be sure, don't miss those. And we have Voices from the Alternative World tomorrow. Actually, the show that I did with Dale last Tuesday, we talked a lot about the shipping and all that and all what Thor brought in. So that was interesting. It's all syncing up all the shows that we're doing, Chris, and everybody are like syncing together like a multidimensional tapestry of information, but they're confirming each other and building on each other. Isn't that awesome?
Oh, yes, definitely.
So, okay. Anybody else? This is your chance, you guys. *6. Okay, Chris.
Elizabeth, I'd like to ask Chris a question.
Hi, Deb. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Okay.
Chris, have you talked with President Obama before?
Oh, yes, I've done channelings, through him telepathically, but I've also done Valiant-Thor, but he was keeping that secret from me that he was actually Valiant-Thor. President Obama was actually Valiant-Thor. I did not know this until very, very recently. He was keeping that secret from me until just about less than a week ago.
What is he being safe by letting it out public?
Yeah, he believes so. They're nowhere near his capability level, so he's perfectly fine.
Oh, okay. Did he ever tell you how he became president? I mean,
this obviously was predestined or whatever you want to say. But how did they plan to get him to be our president?
They didn't really have too much of a choice in it. Normally they decide what president is where and what politicians are where, but since he has the mental capacity to sway them, he kind of wormed his way in there in order to infiltrate them. So I'll be very surprised if he doesn't remain there, even with the way elections are and everything. I'll be very surprised if he's not there as another president too.
You mean for another term? You mean another term?
Yes.
Another term. Okay. We were guests on Captain's show tonight, Chris, and I just want to let you know Captain's been saying that. I don't know how long, for maybe at least this last 3 or 4 months, probably longer than that. He told me that like a couple weeks ago. So wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, I thought there's a lot of talk about him not finishing out his term.
Yeah, well, I thought that too, but appears he's gonna finish it till the end. But I've always had this feeling that we were never going to have another actual election, or there was never going to be another president.
Yeah. So when is a new president? When is a new president elected? January next year? Supposedly.
I believe so. Yes. Yeah.
So between now and then, we should have some kind of disclosure that voting is fraud, right, Deb?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't they have a interim president? People set up to take over the government until we get a real election.
And she's talking about the NESARA intel, and maybe Thor is part of that. Just
this is what some of the channelers have been saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that Valiant-Thor is part of that process. It sounds like something he would come up with.
I'll tell you how he did it, Bev. It's just like any other. Just think of Private Investigator. He did it with improv, playing many different parts, and he already had a plan, and a lot of others had a plan to come to Earth and save the masses, like we heard just recently on the pioneering call. So they planned it ahead. So they planned little parts they would play and infiltrate into the darkest of darkest, whatever, families and groups. And so it's
I know that, but I just wonder how they, half of our people are sleeping still. They don't know this.
Yeah. So what we heard way back when Captain came on the Midnight Think Tank, and it's like I thought, but somehow my heart kind of believed him, but I had no idea. I went and talked to God for a long time and cried. But what he said is like President Obama and probably others that are infiltrators, like a Trojan horse. They play the good part, the bad part. So, right?
Well, it's a lot more complicated than I know about, that's for sure. But Chris, I just wanted you to know the day after Election Day, the 8th of the year, the day after his first election, he became president. I had quite an experience, and I was told by, I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was God or one of his helpers, I don't know, but somebody told me that he was a very special person.
Chris, let's see if we can call in that guide. Maybe it was a guide of Bev's that told her. Was that a guide of Bev's that told her, or who told Bev that, so we can just confirm that?
As soon as you said guide, I saw this man in a robe pop up, and he has kind of like a long beard. And let me see. I'm seeing. I know exactly who gave you the information. It was M. M is a very powerful soul grouping that has it stems back clear to the Creator Council. So.
And Bev, we learned about those on the pioneering call. You were there, and M also has to do with music and tones, and you hear music and tones all the time. Remember? Yeah,
well, I'm still hearing the music. I was driving a car. I was by myself driving, and I started feeling energy flopping over me, starting at the head, and it was like rolling down my body. And I kind of panicked, and I started talking to God, what's going on here? and I didn't get any voices, but I got thoughts in my head that this is global. This is global, meaning everybody was happy.
and when was that? When was that?
So I didn't get any words, but I got thoughts in my head, and of course I was bawling my head off because I didn't know what this was coming down, rolling down my body, but it felt great.
Wow. Bev, when did that happen?
The day after Election Day.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's great. That's our energy, our changes. It was really, I felt something click. I was driving and I was listening to Nat King Cole, and I was enjoying the foliage. It was so beautiful that year in 2008. It was just gorgeous up here, and I could swear that something went click, and the foliage got a little brighter. And then I got this feeling coming down my body, and I just started crying my head off, and I didn't know what was going on. Well, so Bev, M's here. I think they're one of your guides. Let's see if they in fact came in and told you what was that again? When Obama got elected, somebody told you what now?
That he was
it was just a wonderful. Well, it was a wonderful feeling. I kept saying, God, what's going on? Why is this happening? Why is it happening? What's going on here? And I kept getting like this wonderful feeling of joy. I just felt so, I don't know. And then it went into a peaceful feeling, a very, very peaceful. And then I was engulfed in love. I just, I never felt anything. This was really intense. And I said out loud, I better pay attention to my driving. And my head said, don't worry about it. It's being taken care of.
Okay, Chris, you remember the question she was thought some beings told her. What was that question again? We'll repeat it.
That about President Obama being somebody special. Yeah.
Somebody special. Okay, and this is M. And is M a guide of Bev?
Yes, he guides a lot of people. So let me see. He says, yes, dear one, it was I who gave you this information on Valiant-Thor's behalf. He wanted certain people to know that he was being a changer in society. He wished people to know on a subconscious level that he was indeed off-world. However, he could not say it directly himself. Then he began to utter certain phrases and certain words to indicate to people that he was indeed a changer in your society. Back then, he attempted to reveal this to the public, but hit a wall, as you say. Now he transmits it telepathically to people. Okay, what's he saying? Okay, yeah, he's saying, he definitely gave you that information.
Wow. That's amazing.
Isn't that beautiful? Yes. And me too, when he was elected, because I followed it close. I actually voted for Hillary Clinton. That's how awake I was back then. I didn't know. When was that? 4 or 5 years ago? Mm-hmm. And the guy was
2008 he was elected first time.
The guy was helping campaign run for senator in Minnesota. he voted for Obama, and but Obama got voted in. But then I watched everything from when he got voted in and his speech and all that, and my heart just went out because I can see things and sense things unconsciously. I call them signs and wonders, and he portrayed like Abraham Lincoln, some things he did, and which Abraham Lincoln was a good guy, and so I'm with you, Beth.
Yeah, I know. Nobody can say anything bad about him to me. I'm telling you, because I just say, well.
It's like with anything. If you want to focus on something, if anything right now, you guys, if you don't know whether it's good or bad or whatever, focus on it. Go inside your heart. Go inside your heart. I'm just telling everybody, go inside your heart and just keep asking questions. And what happens if you keep asking questions, what happens is the programming that's been put upon us will unwind and it will open up for you. And that's how people, think Obama's a bad person or whatever, and then they come to some call like captains or whatever here, and they hear good things. So they think about it and they ask questions to God, and then it unfolds for them. That's just one example for anything. Yeah.
Yeah, well, of course, it's just that everybody, this one faction in our society blame everything on Obama, and it just gets to me. I mean, I don't. That's their problem.
Yeah, and another misconception is the president is just the president. He's a man. He can't do He can't run the world. He doesn't have the say so. There's people around him that work closely with him that so run it or whatever. It's not just one man. Yeah. So anyway, thank you, Bev, for that.
Oh well, thank you, Chris. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Checking out.
Okay, Chris, I think we'll go to the meditation unless you wanted to say something.
No, I think we covered it.
Okay, let me All right, so everybody just get comfortable, and we have calls Monday through Thursday. Check them out on the Diamonds blog. That's Diamonds with an S Forever 31.blogspot.com. And the links are all on there, too. Chris and Cynthia's and the Diamonds YouTube channel. And I blogged Benjamin Fulford, what we have so far. But I want to do this with you guys. I thought it was pertinent. And my friend Sifu James Fu, he's an Asian man, lives in Canada. He's an energy master. He comes from the realm where he used to, like in the stock market, go through millions and millions and billions of dollars a day, and if he didn't make that much money, his head was on the block. But he came out of that and awakened, and he's an energy master, and he's very humble. And he works with numbers that are very simple. Numbers have a frequency, and we're made up of numbers. You want to study quantum physics, science, and all that. So this is the energy to bind us to the energy flowing that came in the last wave of 5D consciousness expanding energy on December 21st, 2015. And I'm just going to read a little short snips of it. I'll skip a few parts, and then we'll do the meditation. It's very beautiful. Try to do this meditation. It's very simple. Doesn't take too long, and it will enhance your senses when you just focus on the energy coming in as we say the numbers. You can literally feel it. It'll enhance your supernatural, natural powers. It's a good practice for you, for us, for all of us. So let me just read it. December 21st, 2015 brought in a new set of energies to further assist humanity along the journey of awakening. Although humanity still seems very caught up in a third dimension reality, the planet is moving into fifth dimension. December 21st, 2015 brought a wave of new 5D energies to continue to shift the planet into 5D. Although these energies will mostly affect the planet for now, humanity will feel the ripple effect. Everything is in flux. However, March 2016 seems to present some interesting events for humanity. So I want to just add here, those fifth dimensional energies, they come like through the sun and to the earth, in the earth. So this meditation is important because this will help us mesh with the 50 energies that are in the earth and soak into us. like kind of like they talk about grounding yourself. Sifu James Fu has created an energy transmission to assist you with these changes. To access the energy if you've been following the powerful work of Sifu James, you will know that the past 2 years we have all been working with 528, the 528 hertz. That's the love consciousness energy, 528. The new energy download of December 21st, 2015 is a quote-unquote knowledge-based energy. It requires that we set ourselves higher. It requires that we set ourselves higher than 528 hertz. In fact, Sifu James recommends that we work with the energies of, now these are 8 5s and a 2 8. I'm just going to say it and kind of see if you feel anything in your body, and we'll practice that, and then we'll do the meditation. Energies of 5 5 5 5 5 5 5 5 2 8. Okay. 528 by itself is no longer strong enough to bring you up to the necessary frequency. You should now be up to the frequency of 1,000 or higher. 528 will still work to raise the frequency of water. And so you got to follow James. And it still works with people that are a lower vibration. So if they are brand new waking up, they would use the 528. But you guys listening, okay. And 3396, and I did a meditation with James Fu a while back. 3396 turns on the car, the ignition, after you get 528 frequency. 3396 is still Sifu James' private code to access his frequency. August 4th, 2013 was a major download of love energy. September 8th, 2015, this download raised all our energy levels to the highest they could be. It was a very light energy. December 21st, 2015, this download of energy was about information, data, not Buddha energy, however, and makes you have a thirst for knowledge. However, it is very heavy and it will make you tired. Well, Cynthia's commented, and if you guys are tired, that's why. And it's head heavy. It's like in your third eye, too. The following exercise will assist you to better deal with this new energy. It's a routine to elevate yourself to flow with these new energies. Do this exercise once a day. Let me scroll down. By calling, we simply mean to say it out loud or think it in your head. So when you're laying down, you can say these energies in your head. You don't necessarily have to say them out loud to relax more, but try it with both. So I'll keep reading. When calling 528, in order to make it strong enough for these new December 21st, 2015 energies, you must now call it this way. You know, the 5 8s and then 2 8. This brings this, if we call the 5 5, you know, the 8 5s and 2 8, which we're going to do, this brings in 10th dimensional energies to assist you with this exercise. Using the palm, okay. Okay, so, and then also, we're going to call that number, and then I'm going to call the number 7. So you already know what the number, the 8 5s and the 2 8. It brings in a 10th dimensional energy to assist you with this. And then we're going to call 7. If you find you still have a lot of mind chatter, and when I call 7, it quiets the mind. It tells the gatekeeper to quiet down. You should find yourself calm and your mind blank. Then we're going to call the number 1. And the number 1 is, which it will activate your Kundalini energy and ensure that your chakras are linked up. So we'll call these numbers and we'll have a pause, like 20, 30 seconds. Okay, guys? And as I call the numbers, feel those energies. Then we're going to call 1 2, and 1 2 is actually the number 12, but you call it 1 2. This opens up your crown chakra, which will allow you to communicate with the universe. Then after 12, which we call 1 2, then we're going to call 9, which will open your third eye. This also synchronizes the left and right brain so that you can understand what the universe is telling you. If you see images while doing this exercise, when we call 9, you will now also understand what they mean 852 also opens the third eye. That was with the previous exercise. So 9 open the third eye. However, if you see images using that code, you will have no knowledge. Okay. Okay, I'll skip over that because it's from the last exercise. But when we call 9, it's for the opening of the third eye. And then, this is important, your third eye will open only as much as you personally need to have it open at this particular point in time, and you will see only what is that you personally need to see. And then we'll call the number 6. The 6, this will activate your eardrums to vibrate. Oh, look out, Bev. You already have that going. It will activate your eardrums to vibrate, which will allow you to communicate with and hear the universe. And then after you do that, just stay silent and listen. Listen to yourself. Become the observer. And you should hear information coming in. Okay, so again, I'm going to just go through this, and I'm going to call the numbers and just feel it. Focus on feeling it, and then we'll do the meditation. We're going to call in the 528 love energy, but it's higher to a 10th dimensional energy. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 2, 8. Now, if you're in a relaxed spot, you should feel buzzing in your body or yourself getting lighter, expanding. I'm not going to take a lot of time, and then we're going to do the meditation. Now I'm going to call 7. That helps the mind chatter. You feel at peace. All your thoughts are going away. I'm going to call 1. Activate Kundalini chakras, linking up and on your whole body. I'm going to call 1, 2. Opens up a chakra, crown chakra. You feel your head getting lighter, opening up at the top. And we're going to do this again. Call 9. Feel twirling in between your eyebrows or heaviness. And then we call 6. It activates your eardrums. You feel your ears kind of energy twirling in there. And I feel all that. When you lay down and do it yourself, I don't say it out loud. I say it in my mind. But if you don't have the faith for that right now, you can just say it with your, start saying it with your mouth out loud. And as you do it every day, you'll get honed in and you'll feel it. You'll be able to feel it more. Okay, guys. So now we're going to do the meditation. I'm going to turn on some music here. Let's see. So get in a relaxed place, loosen your clothing, turn out the bright lights. I'm going to play Balancing. Turn this up. Okay. Now take a deep breath in to the count of 10. Hold to the count of 10. Blow your breath out to the count of 10. Just focus on the breath. Just go to your breath. Focus on your breath. And know as you're breathing in, you're breathing all the goodness, all the highest good, all the love, joy, happiness that the universe offers today. Take that breath, count to 10. Breathe in. And breathe all what the universe has to offer in. Hold it in, let it soak for 10. As you're breathing out, breathe out for 10. You're breathing out all your anxieties, all your fear, all energies that won't support you in this energy time. Okay, I just want you to close your eyes and just let me do the numbers. I'll say the numbers and I'll pause for 30 seconds. Here we go. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 2, 8. You feel your body getting lighter, expanding. Peace. Now, if you're finding mind chatter, thinking, I'm going to call the number. 7. Now we're going to activate the Kundalini in all of our chakras and link them up. 1. Feel spinning or lightness all the way up through your body, from your groin area all the way up to your head. Now we're going to call the 12. That opens up the crown chakra. So you see energy spinning clockwise in your head, maybe opening up like a flower. Allows us to communicate with the universe. 1, 2. Now to your third eye, opening up and activating. 9. You're at peace, you're light, expanded. You're connected with your chakras into the universe, with all the beings. You can hear, see. Now activate your eardrums and allow you to hear the universe. 6. Okay, I wish for you guys to take this simple exercise and use it every day and see how you'll expand, and take 10, 15 minutes to lay down and call these numbers and just stay there for 10, 15 minutes. It's beautiful. You will be so surprised at what you get. Then get up and write it down. And come share with the Diamonds Network, if you will, your experience. Maybe not the detail if you don't want to, it's personal, but your experience. Practice makes perfect. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me open up the lines one more time for any comments or questions of anything. So good. Anybody like to come in to star 6? Now's your time. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Thank you all who participated, and Chris and Marianne and Mare and Cynthia, Lily, Candy. And we just want to expand a special prayer of one that we prayed tonight to Sonny, who's having little health issues. We love you, Sonny. Well, thank you, guys. You diamonds, all of you, keep on shining, and we're going to shine bright together. So, Diamonds Network, fantastic team. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Have a sweet dreams.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.